Have you ever woken up, looked in the mirror, and thought, where did all the time go? One day you're juggling work, family, and the busyness of life, and the next you're 65, wondering how to make the most of the years ahead. But here's the good news. Just because the number on your birthday cake is climbing doesn't mean your health and happiness have to decline with it. In fact, many people over 65 are discovering that with just a few small lifestyle changes, they not only feel younger, but they're actually adding healthy, vibrant years to their lives. And no, we're not talking about magic pills or expensive treatments. We're talking about simple, science-backed habits that anyone can start today. So if you've ever asked yourself, is it too late to improve my health? Or, what can I actually do at this age to live longer and feel better? You're in exactly the right place. Because in this video, we're going to talk about 6 powerful habits that research shows can help you live longer, feel stronger, and stay mentally sharp, all after 65. Let's dive right into the first habit because it might surprise you. One of the most overlooked habits that has an enormous impact on longevity is getting outside every day. Now, I know it sounds almost too simple, but spending just 15 to 30 minutes outside in natural daylight can make a dramatic difference to your health. Think about it. Sunlight helps your body produce vitamin D, which supports your bones, immune system, and even mood. But it's not just about vitamins. There's something deeply healing about fresh air, green spaces, and hearing birds instead of just traffic. Studies show that seniors who regularly spend time outdoors have lower rates of depression, fewer falls, and even reduced risk of heart disease. And you don't have to be hiking up a mountain. Just a slow stroll in the park, watering your plants on the balcony, or sitting by a tree with a cup of tea is enough. You're moving your body, breathing deeper, and connecting with the world around you. That's medicine no pharmacy can sell. Now, while getting outside feeds your body and spirit, the second habit focuses on feeding your brain, and that's staying curious and mentally active. One of the myths we often hear is that memory loss is just a normal part of aging. But here's the truth. While the brain does change as we age, we have far more control over how sharp it stays than we think. Have you ever noticed how some people in their 80s are still witty, engaged, and quick on their feet mentally? That's not just genetics, that's habit. Your brain is like a muscle, and the more you challenge it, the stronger it stays. This doesn't mean you have to go back to school or study calculus. It can be as simple as learning a new card game, trying to cook a recipe from another culture, or even switching hands when brushing your teeth. Science has shown that mental stimulation, especially when it's new, varied, and slightly challenging, creates new neural connections, which can help delay or even prevent cognitive decline. So if you've ever wanted to learn how to use a smartphone better, start journaling, or play an instrument you never got around to, there's no better time than now. Your brain loves to grow, no matter how old you are. And this brings us to the third habit, which is often the hardest for people to accept, but may be one of the most powerful. Letting go of toxic stress and staying emotionally connected. Yes, we all know that stress is bad for us. But chronic stress, the kind that simmers under the surface for weeks, months, or even years, is especially dangerous after 65. You might not feel it the way you did when you were younger. It might show up instead as fatigue, high blood pressure, shallow sleep, or that constant feeling of being off. Stress speeds up aging at the cellular level. It shortens your telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA, which scientists now recognize as a key marker of aging. So what helps? It's not about eliminating all stress, that's impossible. It's about learning to process it differently. One of the best ways: connection, talking with someone you trust, laughing with an old friend, hugging your grandchild, even writing in a journal or praying quietly each day can be a form of release. Don't underestimate the power of emotional health. We're not machines, we're human. And our emotions are just as important to longevity as our cholesterol levels. Think about this. People with strong emotional bonds and a sense of purpose live significantly longer than those who feel isolated or chronically anxious. It's not weakness to reach out. In fact, it's one of the strongest things you can do for your health. So whether it's stepping into the sunlight, giving your brain something new to explore, or giving your heart a little peace, these are not luxury habits. They are life-extending, life-enhancing choices. and they're all within your reach starting today. Now that we've explored how these daily actions can energize your body, spark your mind, and calm your spirit, let's keep going, because we're only halfway there. So now that you've seen how just stepping outside, keeping your brain active, and managing stress can completely shift how you feel each day, let's keep this momentum going. Because the next habit might seem almost too obvious, but far too many people are doing it wrong without realizing how much it's affecting their long-term health. Let's talk about movement. Not exercise in the traditional sense, not lifting weights at the gym or running marathons. What we're really talking about is moving your body throughout the day. You see, after 65, it's not just what kind of movement you do that matters. It's how often you break up long periods of sitting. You may have heard the phrase, sitting is the new smoking. While that might sound dramatic, there's truth behind it. Extended sitting slows down your circulation, tightens your muscles, and increases your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. What's more surprising is that even if you do a morning walk or an exercise class, it doesn't fully erase the damage from sitting the rest of the day. But here's the good news. You don't need to do anything extreme. Just stand up and move every 30 to 60 minutes. Walk to the window and stretch. March in place during a commercial break. Do gentle leg lifts while brushing your teeth. Every little bit of movement acts like oil for your joints, fuel for your brain, and a signal to your body that you're still living actively. In fact, studies have shown that people over 65 who stay physically active, even just through light daily movements, can add several years to their lives. And not just more years, but better years. More energy, better balance, less pain. That's worth far more than a gym membership, isn't it? And while we're on the topic of the body, let's talk about something that fuels everything else, your food. Yes, how you eat after 65 plays a massive role in your longevity. But here's the thing. It's not about dieting, counting calories, or eliminating everything you love. It's about nourishing your body with intention. As we age, our metabolism slows, our digestion changes, and our ability to absorb certain nutrients decreases. That means every bite matters more than ever. And it's not about eating less. It's about eating smarter. Foods rich in fiber, antioxidants, healthy fats, and plant-based nutrients can fight inflammation, support brain function, protect your heart, and even boost your mood. Simple swaps can make a huge difference. Add berries to your breakfast instead of sugary cereals. Choose olive oil over butter. Add a handful of nuts or seeds to your salad. Sneak in more greens, even a small serving each day adds up. And don't forget hydration. Even mild dehydration can affect memory, mood, and joint health. A glass of water with lemon in the morning? That's more powerful than most people realize. It's also helpful to think of food as more than fuel. It's a form of self-respect. You're telling your body, I want you to thrive, and that mindset shifts everything. It becomes less about restriction and more about care. Now, while your plate is important, there's another habit that might surprise you, because it doesn't come from any doctor's office, fitness book, or nutrition guide. And yet, it might be the most powerful longevity tool of all. It's staying socially engaged and emotionally connected. Yes, we touched on this briefly earlier, but it's worth going deeper. Because loneliness, especially after retirement or the loss of a spouse, can creep in quietly. And left unchecked, it can be as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not just poetic language. That's based on decades of research. Human beings are wired for connection. It's how we survive and thrive. And after 65, it becomes even more critical. But let's be honest. Making new connections can feel harder with age. Friends move, family gets busy, energy isn't what it used to be. But connection doesn't have to mean large gatherings or constant socializing. It can be as simple as consistency and intention. Call a friend once a week. Join a local walking group or book club. Say hello to your neighbors. Even online communities can offer real companionship. The key is to feel seen, heard, and valued, and to offer the same in return. When you do, something beautiful happens. Your stress lowers, your immune system strengthens, and your sense of purpose deepens. In fact, purpose is what often gets overlooked when people talk about aging. But it's purpose, knowing that your presence matters, that gives every other habit its power. Without purpose, even the healthiest diet or strictest routine can feel empty. With purpose, even small acts, like watering your plants or teaching your grandchild a life lesson, become life-giving. So yes, move often, eat well, protect your brain, but also, stay connected, keep your heart open, share your stories, let others in. Because in doing so, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. And when you start living with that intention, something shifts. The aches and pains don't disappear, but they feel more manageable. The gray hairs aren't a burden, they're a badge of wisdom. And the future? It doesn't feel like something to fear. It becomes something to look forward to. Now that we've explored the power of daily movement, nourishing food, and staying emotionally connected, there's one more habit that often gets overlooked. Yet it might just be the secret ingredient that ties all the others together. And it's something that doesn't cost a cent, doesn't require any special equipment, and can completely transform the way you age. It's the habit of sleeping well. Now I know what you might be thinking, but I already go to bed early. Or sleep just isn't the same after 60. And yes, it's true that as we age, our sleep cycles change. It might take longer to fall asleep. You might wake up more often during the night. But just because it's common doesn't mean it's normal, and it doesn't mean you're powerless to improve it. Sleep is when your body repairs itself. It's when your brain clears out toxins, your heart rate lowers, and your immune system recharges. It's not just about feeling rested. Sleep is directly tied to memory, mood, blood pressure, weight, and even your risk of diseases like Alzheimer's. So what can you do? First, start treating sleep like a priority, not an afterthought. That means creating a calming nighttime routine. Dim the lights, avoid screens an hour before bed. Maybe even play some soft music or do a bit of gentle stretching. Try to keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet, like a little retreat. Avoid caffeine after noon. And if your mind is racing when you try to fall asleep, keep a notepad by the bed. Sometimes writing things down is enough to quiet the noise. And don't be afraid to nap, either. Just keep it short, around 20 to 30 minutes, and before 3 p.m. That way it doesn't interfere with your nighttime rest. The key is consistency. Go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, even weekends. Your body loves routine, especially as you age. And when you sleep better, you think better, feel better, and your whole body thanks you. Now, let's take a step back for a moment. Because everything we've talked about, movement, food, connection, sleep, it all points to one bigger idea. That aging well isn't about avoiding change. It's about embracing it with intention. And that leads us to the final, often most overlooked habit that adds years and joy to your life after 65. It's the habit of learning and growing. You see, somewhere along the way, many of us were taught that growing older means slowing down. Stepping back, doing less, expecting less from life. But what if we challenged that idea? What if we saw aging not as a retreat, but as a renaissance? The truth is, the brain loves novelty, craves new experiences, new ideas, new challenges. And every time you learn something, whether it's a new recipe, a new song, or even how to use a new app, your brain forms new connections. This process, called neuroplasticity, helps keep your mind sharp, your mood lifted, and your outlook positive. So try something new. Learn a language. Take a painting class. Grow herbs in your windowsill. Read a book on a topic you've never explored. Teach your grandkids a skill they've never seen before. Challenge your brain, and it will reward you, not just with sharper thinking, but with greater joy. And beyond just learning, embrace curiosity. Stay interested in the world. Ask questions. Be the kind of person who still finds wonder in small things. The way sunlight hits the trees in the morning, the sound of birds outside your window, the feeling of finishing a puzzle. That quiet spark of curiosity. That's the spark of youth, and it never has to go out. Now, maybe you're thinking, this all sounds great, but I've already lived most of my life. Is it really too late to start changing these things? Absolutely not. Because here's the truth. It's never too late to start living better. One habit at a time. One day at a time. One small decision. To walk instead of sit. To laugh instead of worry. To connect instead of withdraw. can change the trajectory of your health and happiness in ways you might not even imagine. And the best part? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to follow every rule or get it all right every day. What matters is showing up for yourself, choosing to care, choosing to believe that your story isn't over. It's still being written, and you hold the pen. So let's take a deep breath together, and just remember what really matters. You are not here just to get by. You are here to live, fully, deeply, joyfully. Yes, your knees might ache sometimes. Yes, your energy might dip. But you're still here. You still have time. You still have choices. And every moment, every step, every laugh, every act of kindness adds up. So try one of these habits this week. Just one. Drink more water. Move more. Reconnect with an old friend. Go to bed a little earlier. Take that first step and then keep going. You might be surprised how quickly life starts to feel fuller, lighter, and more vibrant. And if this video spoke to you, if it made you feel even a little bit hopeful or inspired, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one small change you're planning to make? Your story might just be the encouragement someone else needs. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and subscribe if you want more tips, stories, and tools to help you thrive, not just survive, after 60. This channel is here for you, and we've only just begun. Here's to more laughter, more love, more learning, and many more good years ahead. You deserve them,